Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagadguru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally, and I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We continue on our topic, the Guru principle, and I've given you substantive Vedic injunctions since the inception of this topic a few weeks ago, directly from the Vedas. For any law to exist, it has to be promulgated by recognized authorities, and similarly in the Vedas, whatever I have given you is from recognized authorities. And there is a whole lot of confusion in Sanatan Dharma in relation to how to unite with the Supreme Lord. And it is my incumbent duty as a Guru to dispel all of these notions that exist in the mind of Sanatan Dharmis without any fear or favour. It is a very small percentage of Sanatan Dharmis that really know how to connect with the Supreme Lord. And it is not the fault of the Lord in any way whatsoever. He has provided substantive evidence in the manual for human beings, and that manual for the human beings is the 4 Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, the Puranas, and the Ramayana. If man wants to be ignorant, if man wants to do his own thing, then this is the perfect place to do it. That is why these material universes were created, so that you do not have to abide by the Supreme Lord's injunctions. You do what you want, karma will be accrued, you'll take birth again, and you do what you want, karma will be accrued, and you'll take your birth again. And this has been happening for the past 155 trillion years. Half of creation is almost over. It's almost 51 Brahma years have passed. If you are still here, it means you don't want to abide by the laws of the Supreme Lord. That is why we are still here. And once we leave this material plane permanently, it means we have abided by the laws of the Supreme Lord. I showed you in the introduction to the Guru principle how creation takes place. I've also told you and showed you through the Vedic injunction how Lord Brahma injects all the vices as reservoirs in this universe, and I also showed you how Lord Brahma injects all the divine qualities or divine attributes in the universe. So whoever is here today, it is your previous life and lives karma that gave you merits to be seated here today in this satsang. Do not waste those merits. Do not waste those merits. It's like a metric certificate. You get a metric certificate, then you have a legal status to be admitted in university. Yes? But if you go to university on the first day and do not follow all the protocols and mandates of the university, then it doesn't mean you're going to get your degree. Yes? So if you have merits to be here, fine, but you have to work your way through the ashram to get the results of your merits to be here. All of you understand? And this is going on for the past 10 years. You can go onto our website, you can go onto Facebook, and you see that the word impossible does not exist in this ashram. The word impossible has no place here. You can't have a bona fide guru, a bona fide ashram, and a Supreme Lord, and the word impossible in that context. Can you? Then the Lord cannot be supreme if the word impossible exists side by side with the Supreme Lord. Can the Lord be supreme and the word impossible exists side by side? All of you understand? And I've been saying this confidently for the past 10 years. This ashram will be 10 years old. Not this ashram physically, but my mission will be completing its 10 years. And whoever came here with faith has never left empty-handed. Whoever came here with faith has never left empty-handed. No matter how big or how bleak your life is, this ashram has capacity to change any dynamics that exist in this material universe, or else this ashram should close its doors. Should close its doors. So this is how far we have gone, and it has become necessary to show you that there is no magic. God is not a magician. He does not appear and disappear through an illusion. Magicians create illusion. If you looking for magic, wrong ashram. Here there is no magic. There is a guaranteed positive result. Guaranteed positive result. And I've stated previously that this is not a casino where you put your money in and pull the lever hoping that 3 sevens come in a row and you'll hear that ching ching. Alright? Yeah, as soon as you enter the gate, you should be hearing ching ching. Without doing anything, you should be hearing ching ching as soon as you enter that gate. And as long as you are associated with this guru, you should be hearing ching ching. Ching ching is guaranteed. You don't have to pull any levers. Ching ching is guaranteed. No pulling of any levers. What I mean in context is you're not taking a chance if you associate yourself with this ashram. This ashram do not take chances, and neither should you be taking any chances. You shouldn't be gambling at this ashram. When you walk into this ashram, you should know all my problems are resolved and taken care of. And this is This is the Guru principle. This is the Guru principle. No change in karma can take place without a Guru. No change in karma can take place without a Guru. It has never happened in 155 trillion years. Why? Why? Because it's not part of the cosmic law. It's not part of the cosmic law. The cosmic law is for your karma to change, you have to align yourself with a bona fide spiritual master. He is the only, he or she, there are also bona fide female gurus that you can find around the world. And it is only bona fide spiritual masters that can change your karma. And every circumstance in your life is your karma. Karma is not a bad word. Karma means action. Good karma means good action, and negative karma means negative action. As you are seated here right now in this ashram, your karma is being written. Seated on your shoulder is a devta called Chitragupta, and he is busy recording. Ashmika got up late this morning, half an hour late, to do the walk with the Guru, because she was thinking of, she had some mad notions in her head. So she got up late, she made her entire family late, her husband and her father-in-law late, Ashmika. Alright, Chitragupta is writing now seated on her shoulder, not on the Guru's shoulder. And he is recording. Then Ashmika made it to the walk. She did the walk, and now she is seated in the ashram. She is hearing to 70% of what the Guru is saying, 30% she is perceiving some other stories in her head. Alright, Chitragupta is writing that down. Okay? So this is how the system works. Then we have satellites. We have all the planetary systems. We have the moon. And these cosmic bodies are satellites for the Supreme Lord. They are photographing you. You also, well, I should use this opportunity to congratulate India on landing the Chandrayaan. What's a spaceship called? Chandrayaan 3. And then you'll see those people that do not like India. They are also posting that this is a fake news, fake landing, that spacecraft do not look like a spacecraft, which is right. This is what this material universe is all about. Although the entire world can fact check and see that this contraption landed on the moon, the demonic or the ignorant will always debate that. They'll create a false narrative. And although you, all of you seated here in this ashram, can fact check the Bhagavad Gita, and you all can fact check chapter 4, you all can fact check verse 34 of the Bhagavad Gita. And if you fact check chapter 4, verse 34 of the Bhagavad Gita, what it will tell you, Avir? You are in the gang of one of those that do not believe that Chandrayaan has landed on the moon. Alright? Anyone? I see Jessica has disappeared, so I'll ask her husband Satish Bhai. Chapter 4, verse 34. That is the most important verse in the Bhagavad Gita if you fact check. And it says, yes. If you want to know who the Supreme Lord is, you must surrender to a bona fide spiritual master who has realized the absolute truth. And you must question in prostration. Question in prostration. I can give this verse to every Sanatan Dharmi in the world. But they'll say no. What they'll say? No. I can't follow a man. What they'll say? No. I can't follow a man. I cannot worship a man. And I cannot prostrate to a man. But I've showed you in the preceding discourses that it is the Supreme Lord Himself who asks you to prostrate to His representative. The Supreme Lord Himself, through various Vedic injunctions, asks you to prostrate to His devotee, His bona fide devotee. Alright? And last week I read, I want to read that verse again, I think it's important. And then I'll continue giving you Vedic injunctions in that light. But we want to congratulate India on the successful. There was a hype around the world. If you are inclined to news and social media, there was a hype around the world for the very, very first time. There have been many missions to the moon, missions to Mars, yes, you have heard. But this was the very first time when there was a hype around the world and everyone was in prayer that the Chandrayaan must land successfully with its soft landing on the moon. Did you notice that? You notice that? It married spiritual science with material science. There was a marriage between material science and spiritual science. No matter how great a scientist you are, the absolute scientist is the Supreme Lord. And if there was any hiccups on the way because of this international prayer, this prayer was around the world. That is where social media, the consciousness of social media exists now around the world. When these posts were distributed in our ethereal atmosphere, that prayer guaranteed was received by the Supreme Lord. And this instrument landed on the moon. You have seen? Sita, you don't have to see. You travel up and down to the moon like ordinary people travel to and fro to work. Alright? So Sita don't have to see. All these things are known to Sita. So this is where science and spirituality comes together. I can give you an entire description of the moon. I can tell you what's on the moon. I can tell you all the ingredients in the moon. I didn't have to go there through science. I didn't have to go there through science. I got the information from the Supreme Lord Himself. He is the creator of the moon. He is the creator of the sun. He is the creator of all the planetary system. So there's two ways. There's two ways of knowing what's in this universe. One way is from the Creator Himself, and the other way is through experiment. And this is spiritual science has no animosity against material science. And I said some years ago that I will see scientists bowing down to the Upanishads. The Upanishads are the exact scientific journals that were given to the very, very first scientists on this earth. And the very first scientists on this earth are the saints and sages of Sanatan Dharma. Everything is there. Whilst they're going to look now for water on the moon, we know there's water on the moon. And they said there's a 14-day period in which they need to glean all the information from the surface of the moon. You heard them saying? Because one day, 14 days on earth, in fact it is 15 days on earth is one day on the moon. 15 days on earth is one day on the moon. Alright? And the Vedas is stating since inception that time is cyclic and not linear. If time was linear, then the days on higher planes will be the same. Because it is cyclic, because time is cyclic, the time is different in different dimensions. The moon is in a different dimension. All of you understand? So this is why it's going to take that amount of time to glean and analyze all that information. Earth days on the moon is just one day. We also had the opportunity of celebrating India's 75th Independence Day at the Indian Consulate. I think it was on the 14th of August. And today, at 8 a.m. sharp, we had an opportunity to represent the ashram with the Sri Satya Sai organization of South Africa on a peace walk. So the Guru is integrated as per Vedic injunctions. The Vedas state that the Guru must be integrated in all aspects of human life. So we belong to the KwaZulu-Natal Interfaith. We belong to the KwaZulu-Natal Spiritual Policing Forum. We belong to an institute that deals with xenophobia in this country. And the list goes on. So we're performing as per the Vedic injunctions, we're performing as God has directed us. Some devotees do not believe that the Guru should be involved in all the structures of society. If the Guru is not involved in all the structures of society, there will be no prosperous society. It is for this reason that the Supreme Lord has made an indictment that the Guru must be involved in every aspect of society so that we can inject society with ethics and morality. With ethics and morality. And in this point in time, those of you who have a background on India itself, how many of you have a background on India? How many of you know what the administration of India was prior to 2014? Do you know? India was called a Gunda Raj. Do you know what Gunda Raj means? Run by the mafia. India was run by the mafia at every level. And then you got a disciple. You got a disciple who became the Prime Minister. That disciple, Narendra Modi, is running India as per Vedic injunctions. The Prime Minister of India is running India as per Vedic injunctions. And there is a state, Uttar Pradesh, that is run by a bona fide spiritual master himself, Yogi Adityanath. Have you all heard of that? And India has become so prosperous that it's heading for the number 3 economy in the world in only 10 years. So this is for you that don't despair in South Africa. Natal, the National Indian Congress of India lost its governorship. National Indian Congress of India. Similarly, the African National Congress of South Africa. Remember, they are joined at the hips. Mahatma Gandhi was involved in both the inception of both these organizations. All right? There is an expiry date. The ANC will not rule for ever. There is a coalition that's been formed already. You have a choice of 7 parties that you can vote for. South Africa is going to change. And those of you that are with me for over 2 years, and if you go back to YouTube and recall those discourses that I gave, Khatija, I prescribed when the coalitions didn't even know they were going to be involved in a coalition. My discourses are there, somebody can pull it out. I said 2 or 3 years ago that we are conscientizing the consciousness of South African politics, and politics will never be the same in South Africa again. I said this 3 years ago. And today, we're almost there. Next year, many provinces will not be governed by the ANC. So this is the absolute statements that bona fide spiritual masters make without fear, because we are connected with the Creator. If you are connected with the Creator, then the word impossible does not exist. So I'm just giving a background to those of you that are fairly new, and for the purposes of the book that is going to be transcribed from this discourse. What is the date today? 26. Today is the 26th of August. 27th. Okay, Ashmika, I said mind is not. And I proved it in this discourse within 10 minutes. No, we all heard you saying 26th. All right? So that's how absolute the Guru is. Okay? Ashmika is yeah, but not yeah. All right? I want to start with my reading. I read last week and I want to read again. This is a Vedic injunction. If you take it seriously, your life will change forever. If you question the Guru, then you will be running at the same spot. You rather go to a gym, hold the handles of a walker, and think you are walking, but you are actually in the same spot, alright? Cyril, I told Jay Bhai I need to get a set of glasses, because in the walk this morning I only saw Khatija. I turned and looked and looked and looked. I couldn't see Jay Bhai. It means my eyes is very, very bad. I did this verse last week. I want to do it again this week. This is how important it is. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 3. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 17, Verse 27. And this is Lord Shri Krishna speaking, and he says, one should know the Acharya to be myself and never disrespect him in any way. Full stop. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all Devis and Devtas. He is the representative of all Devis and Devtas. So let's hear what Lord Shri Krishna is saying, and let's hear, which is a very, very sensitive point in the life of a Sanatan Dharmi. But let's put this into its legal and spiritual perspective. So if the Supreme Lord is saying, consider the Acharya as myself. If the Supreme Lord is saying, consider the Acharya as myself, what is he saying? What is he saying? Guru is God? Is he saying Guru is God? He is saying that the Guru is my representative. Is he saying that? Consider the Acharya as myself. Does it mean the Acharya is my representative, and as you respect all my qualities, respect my Acharya with the same qualities? You think he's saying that? Is he saying the Acharya is replacing me or substituting me? Okay. Then he goes on in the next half and he says, the Acharya is the representative of all the Devis and Devtas. 330 million Devis and Devtas who are cosmic as administrators govern this universe. They govern this universe. You get in sunlight here through Surya Narayan Baba. You get moonlight to Chandra Baba. Yes? All these Devis and Devtas work for the Supreme Lord. They are cosmic administrators for the Supreme Lord. And the Supreme Lord is saying that the Guru is representative of the 330 million Devis and Devtas. Get clarity on this. This is a pivotal point in your spirituality. So if you have to do Kali Puja, if you have to do Durga Puja, if you have to do Saraswati Puja, if you have to do Hanuman Puja, if you have to do Ganesha Puja, if you have to do Ram Puja, if you have to do Krishna Puja, if you have to do Shiva Puja, all these pujas are found in the essence of the Guru. Yes? Why? Because God created it like this. Who created it? The Creator Himself created this system. Creator Himself created this system, and this is why when you follow a guru, your life becomes a walk in the park. Your life becomes a walk in the park because your guru takes representation and represents you with all the Devis and Devtas. And the Guru represents the Supreme Lord with all the Devis and Devtas. The Supreme Lord did not give mandate to any Devi or Devta who is a cosmic administrator. Neither does he himself change your destiny. Supreme Lord cannot change your destiny. Devis and Devtas cannot change your destiny. Only the Guru can change your destiny. And who is saying this? The Supreme Lord in thousands of verses, not one, in thousands. And I hope when I complete my discourse for the book, the Guru Principle, every verse that the Supreme Lord has uttered will be enshrined in that book. Do you understand? So let's test this with our physical understanding. If you go to Westville prison, if you are imprisoned in Westville, and if you go and bribe the warder, people from the outside bribe the warder, what will be your condition inside the prison? You'll the best that can be achieved in prison. You have a cell phone, you can phone your wife. Hello Ashmika, are you daydreaming? You know what day it is. You know what time it is. Okay. See, she said 20 to 12. Look at that time. Look. Again, she is off. Another test in my ashram. This ashram is never wrong. Can you see now how she makes her husband late? And her father-in-law. Alright? So if you bribe the warders, what happens? But are you out of prison? Similarly, when you pray to the Devis and Devtas, you bribing them on this planet, Earth. They may give you something. They only have capacity to change your life 10-15%. But where you are. And the word Durga, go fact check it today. Word Durga, fact check it. Sanskrit to English means prison. Sanskrit to English mean prison. So, Mother Durga is the superintendent of this material universe. Mother Durga is the superintendent of this material universe. And the more you pray for her, the more you live in. Next life is guaranteed. Following life is guaranteed. And all your lives are guaranteed when you worship a Devi or Devta. Your life here on this planet Earth is guaranteed. That's one guarantee the Guru can give you. But when you worship the Supreme Lord through the Guru Principle, then there's a guarantee this is your last lifetime on earth. All of you understand? You understand this verse? Are there any questions on this verse? Amita, any questions from the viewers as well on this verse? The next verse I want to read to you. I don't know if I read it last week. Guru's memory is not so good. It's becoming like Ashmika's memory. Her consciousness. I spend a whole lot of time, an entire week she's here, and my memory is going according to her memory. Canto 11, Chapter 3, Text 22, Srimad Bhagavatam. Accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity. Every week there is a person, Hemita, that asks the question, why do you worship the Guru? On my discourses, on these live discourses. And he said he's sick and tired of asking this question. I don't think today he might even be watching the day when I'm answering his question, all right? Go back, find him, and bring him to discourse, all right? He wants to know why. During Aarti, I think he puts this comment, please tell me why you're worshipping the Guru, all right? So I personally answered. I told him I will be doing an entire discourse where there is Vedic injunctions why the Guru should be worshipped. But he's in a hurry. But I think this verse is just one of the hundreds of verses that I'm going to read. Not today, but as we move on. So let me start this verse again. Accepting the bona fide spiritual master as one's life and soul and worshipable deity, the disciple should learn from him the process of pure devotional service, full stop. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, the soul of all souls, is inclined to give himself to his pure devotees. Full stop. Therefore, the disciple should learn from the spiritual master to serve the Lord without duplicity and in such a faithful and favorable way that the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, will offer himself to the faithful disciple. This is a very, very important verse as well. It is stated that the Lord gives himself to the bona fide spiritual master. The Lord gives himself to the bona fide spiritual master. This is a Vedic injunction. It is stated by the Lord himself. So if the Lord gives himself to the Guru, what does it mean? When the Lord gives himself to the Guru, what does that mean? Let's be practical, let's be commonsensical, and let's be logical. I said there is no magic here. Now you can understand why I said there is no magic. Why I stated there is no magic. Lord has given himself up to who? To the bona fide spiritual master. Is it stated here? Is it a Vedic injunction? This same Vedas give the distance to the moon. This same Vedas give the distance to the sun. This same Vedas gives the diameter of the universe. And the same Vedas is giving you and telling you that he has given himself up to the Guru. Is he saying that here? What can the Guru now do with the Supreme Lord? if the Lord has given himself up to the Guru? What can the Guru do now with the Supreme Lord, the creator of this universe? Shanti, what can the Guru do with this God who has given himself up to the Guru? Do you understand? Can you understand why I said the word impossible cannot exist in between a bona fide spiritual master and God? Because God can do anything, and if God has given himself up to the Guru can make God do anything. Can't the Guru? If God has given himself up to the Guru, then can the Guru remove cancer? Stage 4 cancer. Can the Guru remove it? Can the Guru send you, Dana, for a heart operation without one pain? Dana, did you go for a heart operation?
Yes.
Did you feel one pain?
No.
And after the operation, what you did? You understand? Because the Guru can instruct the Supreme Lord what to do. Guru can instruct the Supreme Lord what's to be done. And this is why I am confident for the past 10 years, the amount of miracles that has occurred in this ashram. In 10 years only, I gave a guarantee on live Facebook. All my things are done here on live. I don't meet Ashmika in the corner somewhere. It's done here on live. And because I have a relationship with the Supreme Lord, I can instruct the Lord to do anything. But I must have something to give to the Lord. Otherwise, I can go to Checkers and stand at the entrance of Checkers. There should be about 200 people inside there. Who doesn't have a problem in the 200 people? Everyone. Do I tell the Lord whilst I'm in Checkers, you think Guru don't see who got a problem in Checkers whilst he's there? Do I tell the Lord, there's 200 people here with problems, solve it? Because I don't have anything. I don't have anything from the 200 people to start a communication with God. And this is why I ask you to come to satsang, and this is why I ask you to come to ashram, even if your life is rolling. Jessica, you and your husband having a beautiful life, you must still come to satsang. That is why don't take it for granted that that mouth has simmered, it can't come up again. That is the only guarantee I cannot give any husband. The speed of your wife's mouth. I can't stop that. Lord Narayan has no space for that. That is the only mistake in creation. Other than that, we can repair anything. But your continued presence in this satsang gives me a spreadsheet. Gives me a spreadsheet to instruct, not to plead to God, to instruct the Supreme Lord to perform an action on my devotee's behalf. Do you understand? I have everything the Lord has given me. I don't need one atom from the Lord. in my capacity as a guru. The only bargaining I do with the Lord is on my disciples, my aspirants, and my devotees' behalf. That is why when I tell you come to satsang, you must always be at satsang unless there's an emergency. Alright? And Ashmika has a lot of these emergencies. Also, she wasn't here last week because she had the flu. Alright? Yeah. Yes, yes. Guru, this is the... So this is what I'm saying. Ashmika is deflecting, putting all the blame on her husband, alright? But I'm saying you can't lie to the Guru, Ashmika. Whilst Guru is sitting here, Guru saw what was happening there. Newlands is not far. If I know what's on the moon, Newlands is just across the river, alright? I can even tell your husband what he had for breakfast last week Sunday. I'm just saying that even if your life is hundreds, don't stop coming to ashram if you found a bona fide spiritual master, because you don't know which day you're going to need something somewhere along the line. There are many people that also come here. I have helped and assisted outside the domain, because I have something to bargain with. I must always have something in my hand to bargain with. When I'm instructing the Supreme Lord, I must have something to... I'm using a strong word. So I'm using a strong word. I'm saying the word instruct is a strong word. Okay, I said I was using a... Hey, thank God Jessica is not the Guru. I said using a strong word, instruct, but I'm saying it with respect. If you have an emergency, I cannot plead to the Supreme Lord after He has given Himself to me. I cannot plead with Him, you understand? I have to instruct Him, Lord Sriman Narayan, My devotee has come to this ashram 100 times. They do seva, they clean your yard, they clean the fish pond, they feed the cows. When I ask for donation on the group to put tiles, they put the money in. When I ask for roses, they delay, but then eventually it is. Eventually it comes. Now I would like you to go immediately, with immediate effect, and protect that devotee or that devotee's family or that devotee's niece or that devotee's nephew, because I have received this call. You, on your own, gave yourself up to me. Now, when you are with me, then you have to perform these tasks. Otherwise, you are not absolute. So the Guru will fight with the Supreme Lord through an instruction. Do you understand? And this is why I ask you to come to ashram, so that I have this spreadsheet with me to change your quality of life. Is it scientific? Is it logical? Is it commonsensical? Does it make sense? Do you need to see the Supreme Lord in all of this? Do you see, when you drink water, do you see hydrogen and oxygen mixed up? You just drink the water because you have knowledge that if you have water, it will quench your thirst. So similarly, I am giving you knowledge. If you take this knowledge, it will quench all your problems. It will quench and dissipate all your problems in life. This is the power of the Supreme Lord. Whether he is in a church, whether he is in a mosque, whether he is in a synagogue, whether he is in a Buddhist temple, it is that same Supreme Lord. For Sanatan Dharmis, he has given this instruction. And I am a Guru in Sanatan Dharma. All of you understand? These are important, these are crucial, these are pivotal times. And it's a pivotal moment. You see, it was in this Bhabi's merit that came into the ashram on this day, in a fully conscientized, spiritually conscientized service, that she could walk in here at her age in her shorts. It's her merit. It's not about the clothing. You understand? It's about her merits that she had, that she can come into a Vaishnavite satsang. This is why I allowed her, and this is why I said, thank God Jessica is not the Guru. You know how fast that lady would have had to fly out of this service? Right now, 10111 would have been inundated with calls. Okay? Jess? I felt Jessica's temperature, yeah. I felt a temperature. Yeah, Jess. But look at how great this ashram is. Jessica just sat there. She couldn't move. Can you see how great? And this is why Satish Bhai never misses, because spirituality has arrested not only her mouth, but her entire being. Okay? Are there any questions? I want to read one more. I'm going to close with this text 224. Okay, so this verse is directly for all of you. Text 23, Canto 11, Chapter 3. A sincere disciple should learn to disassociate the mind from everything material and positively cultivate association with his spiritual master and other saintly devotees. He should be merciful to those in an inferior position to him, cultivate friendship with those on an equal level and meekly serve those in a higher spiritual position, full stop. Thus, he should learn to deal properly with all living entities. So here is a criteria that if you are spiritually, or you believe you are spiritually high, years ago before I became a guru, one of Mataji's sisters said, I'm spiritually very, very high, And if you say this in a material place, talking to materialists, I think it's a stupid thing to say. What do you think? You can only quantify your spirituality with a group of spiritual people. You cannot quantify your spirituality outside that group. So Hemita, if you believe you're very spiritually high, then you must treat people of your own spirituality with an equal vision. You don't look down. Jessica, the lady that came in her shorts, right? Don't look down on her. All of you understand? So, spirituality is a continuous evolution until you die. Spirituality is a continuous evolution until you die. If you follow God's instructions, you'll be liberated at death. You'll never take a material body again. And if you do not take all of God's instructions, you'll come back. And I stated earlier, there is no guarantee that you will get a human body again. You can come back. You will come back with the vision that you last had. So say you are afraid of cockroaches. You are afraid of cockroaches. And your last sane moment before death, you see a cockroach running on the ceiling. You see a cockroach running on the ceiling, and your last thought will be, and your next birth will be. Understand? So if you do not use, and most of the time, you will take birth in your enemy's house as a cockroach. Ashmika, any enemies? Okay. If you take birth as a cockroach, you'll see one odorless doom following you. Alright? An odorless doom following you. That's a karma of a karma. It's all equated. A plus B is equal to 2C squared or something. Everything is equated. So when you thought you saw the cockroach, you ate a cockroach, you died, your last vision was a cockroach, no matter how much Bhagavad Gita you read, guaranteed you'll be cockroach, because this is an exact science. But if you follow the Guru, Guru gives you a mantra, before death, you don't need to remember your mantra. Before death, that last, you'll be in pain. Tell me, who in pain, when the soul is being extracted from the body, can remember a mantra? Do you understand? You can die anyhow, in a plane crash, in an instant death, in a car accident. You got time to remember mantra? But if you follow a guru and the guru gives you the mantra in your ear, that mantra is alive, and that is your boarding pass to Vaikuntha. That mantra is your boarding pass to Vaikuntha. Can you see how many benefits you have following a guru? Can you see the benefits of following a guru? And as we continue, and I don't know when this book will be published, but it will be the most comprehensive published book on the guru principle in the world, because you can go and look, even today, before I even publish this book, you can go and look. There's not enough information to convince you why you should be following a guru. Any questions? Okay, I'm making an appeal because all of you know how much I love my garden. I can't say roses, I have a lot of other plants here that can get upset. So I love all my plants equally. Jai Shriman Narayan.